What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the August Patreon behind the scenes video for the DD23 Productions Patreon. I finally got that the first try. Anyways, SAG-AFTRA and the WGA are still on strike, and to transition to a more positive note, our short film Pollo Loco won 3 more awards. This time at the August 2023 edition of the Independent Shorts Awards in LA. We took home the Bronze Award for Best Crime Short, an honorable mention for Best Acting Duo, presented to Giancarlo Beltran and yours truly, as well as an honorable mention for Best Supporting Actor for Jorge Rodriguez. I don't know if Jorge watches these videos, but I'm super proud of you, man. And when you guys see the film, I'm sure you'll see why he got an honorable mention. He absolutely killed it as Baby Spider, aka the guy duct taped in the chair. He really earned that award with how many times we had to take that tape on and off his face. Sometimes things don't work out the way that you picture them to on set, but Jorge was a fucking trooper on set, dude. So once again, congrats, Jorge. You definitely deserve that award in my book. We have 2 more notification dates in August. Now, the notification dates for these festivals have been moving quite a bit, and I will not be surprised if they move into September. That is the San Jose International Short Film Festival and Film Quest. And speaking of September, we have 11 notification dates set for September, one of those being a very big festival for us. That is the Santa Fe International Film Festival, which is probably known as the biggest film festival in New Mexico. We did submit for the New Mexican short category at that festival, so fingers crossed, baby. But stay tuned for updates on those notification dates, because I will be updating social media as those official selections come in. And of course, again, if we get any nominations or win any more awards. Now to shift back over to some talk about the strike. Once again, Pollo Loco is a SAG-AFTRA production because we had 2 actors that are part of SAG-AFTRA. But because of the budget and the nature of the project, it is considered an independent project, which is why we're still allowed to talk about it and promote things such as festivals. That means I am entering Pollo Loco into festivals again. In last month's video, you might have heard me say that I put that on pause because I didn't know if we were allowed to technically. But now that that's been cleared up, we have been entered into 79 out of the at least 117 festivals we have planned so far. And on top of that, in case you didn't notice, the movie and TV show reactions are back. The one stipulation of that is I am not allowed to promote any struck companies or projects. I am not accepting any promotional deals. We usually get movie boxes, but we put that on hold until the strikes are over to stand in solidarity with the actors and the writers, because I hope to join those unions myself someday. Now, I know some people are probably wondering what's going on with the strikes, and I gotta be honest, there's not a whole lot more to talk about. At the time of this recording, we're on day 117 of the WGA strike and day 44 of the SAG-AFTRA strike. SAG-AFTRA has said that they have had 0 talks, and the AMPTP has refused to reopen negotiations. And by the looks of it, I would say we're probably not going to see any more negotiations until the fall at the earliest. On the other hand, there have been some headlines and rumblings about the WGA having some talks with the AMPTP. Some headlines even said there was some promising progress to those talks, but then it turned out that those were really just lectures from some of the studio execs who are still arguing that the deal that's been previously presented is good enough, which it's not. And so because of the writer's strike, I still do not have any updates on scripts. Again, I plan to join the WGA, so I gotta follow the same rules as the union. And so out of respect for the strikes, I'm not talking about any projects that are not already completed, which right now means we can only talk about Pollo Loco. As these strikes continue to go on longer and longer, things are gonna get harder and harder. It's really important that we stand together with the unions and the unions stand together so that we have the best chance of making these strikes worth all of the trouble. I know it's easy to get fixated on the movies and TV shows that are getting delayed because of these strikes, but I think it's important to keep the focus on the actors and the writers, because they're the ones who are starting to be at risk for losing their homes. I'm sure, like myself, you may have seen some videos going around social media where actors are talking about their financial hardships. And so I have put a link in the description for the SAG-AFTRA Foundation, which is a foundation where actors who are union or even non-union can seek financial assistance during hard times such as these strikes. But if you can't donate, you can spread the word. Educate your friends and family. A lot of people don't understand what these strikes are about. A lot of people think it's just about money, but there is so much more to it than that. I'll keep you guys updated on the strikes in these monthly Patreon videos. But that's all I have to say about the strikes for now. Now to start to wrap this video up, I want to mention that we have our monthly Zoom Hangout. Our next $4 Zoom Hangout is going to be September 30th at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. It lasts about 2 hours, and I did push it back an hour for 2 reasons. Reason number 1 being that I'm taking another acting class, and that is going to be Saturday mornings for the next 6 weeks. So obviously I had to make some time in between those so that I can get from acting class back to here and then maybe eat something, say hi to my family before I jump in that Zoom Hangout. And also, there is no longer a movie watch party. I know that kind of sucks, but again, there's 2 reasons for that. The Zoom Hangouts have always been more popular, and reason number 2 may or may not be a Zoom software update that doesn't allow us to stream stuff like that anymore. But anyways, I think I'm gonna wrap this video up so it's not too long, but I cannot do so without shouting out our $3 patrons and up. The names you see on screen belong to the awesome members of our Patreon that give some extra dinero towards our productions, which is a massive help because insurance is not cheap and festival fees do add up. On average, I would say festivals cost somewhere around $30 to $40, and we plan to enter into a total of at least 117. So you can do that math and see why every bit helps. But if you see your name on the screen, thank you so much. You're freaking awesome. Whether you're a producer or a $3 member, we literally cannot be doing what we're doing without you. And I definitely would not have as much time to dedicate to filmmaking if it wasn't for our G Fuel sponsorship. I'm fortunate enough to have been sponsored by G Fuel for about 2 years now, and they are so freaking awesome to work with. I have some really cool filmmaking related stuff planned with them, so stay tuned for stuff like that. But in the meantime, don't forget to use G Fuel code DannyD for 10 to 30% off. I think it's 10% off merch, 20% off, and 30% off for pre-orders and newly launched products. You can also pick up a Danny Dorito 23 G Fuel shaker, which has that sexy DD23 on it. And if you haven't tried G Fuel before, they have starter kits, but be warned, the Danny Dorito 23 G Fuel starter kits are almost gone. So get one while you can. And last but not least, if you're watching this on YouTube for free, I totally understand if you cannot afford to subscribe to the Patreon, but you can share and tell your friends about these videos, and that's totally free. And one last thing, I'm sorry if I don't seem like my usual peppy self. It's kind of late at night. Little man's got school tomorrow, so I'm trying to keep my voice down. But anyways, guys, once again, thank you for your continued support. It really means so much to me that you guys watch these videos and are a part of the Patreon. But until next month, stay safe, be nice to each other out there, and to my fellow filmmakers, stay strong out there, baby. Peace.